Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be today's tutorial. I already have one eye done because it is a lot of crease work. So for the sake of saving a little bit of time, my foundation is done and one eye is done. I have two lashes at the top and bottom lashes, so I'll be teaching you guys how to do that. And this is a hair. Yeah, so let's get started with the tutorial. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a base. Take any base you want. I'm going to take a white base, and this is from the Makeup Forever 12 Color Flash Palette. So what I did was I took this all over my lid, and this is going to be my base. Used as a base, these can crease, so just apply a thin layer of it. Okay, so once I have that like that, next thing I did was I took a Louise Young LY38 brush, and this is what it looks like. It's really domed, it's tapered, it's perfect for crease work for small areas. The color I used to start with was this one here, and it's Cork, and it's a light to medium brown. So what I did was I started to sketch out where my crease was going to be. So in the corner, I started really close to my socket. And then as I got into this inner corner, I left a little more space right there. So right about there. And just meet the two up. So you have sort of a lifted, and then the shape falls a little. So that's the shape we're going for. So once you've applied your cork like this, we're going to take a 217 by MAC and blend over that a little to start off with, because we want this to be really smooth. We don't want any little lines or anything like that. So first we're just gonna blend over this to smooth it out. And then with a clean 217, I'm gonna blend the edges. You can use the same one, you can just wipe it off on something. So I'm going back to my first one and blending over. And by using a cleaner one in the outer edges, we get a really soft effect out here without blending this color out too far. So now I'm going to go back into my LY38 by Louise Young and the color, and I'm going to reapply it in the same manner. I'm going to go over that. And blend the edges with the cleaner 217. Like I've said before, try to get yourself two of the same blending brushes that you use. That way you always keep one a little bit cleaner. And once I have that, I'm going to go into a brown that's a little bit darker, but still on the warm side, and that's going to be Handwritten by MAC. It's just a brown, bready, toned. So I'm going to take that and apply it in the same place very lightly. Then I'm going to take the same brushes first blending it into the skin, and then with my cleaner brush going around that. And this is the really warm color that we see up here. It's just blended out. And having this brown here will help that black blend over that a lot softer. So now I'm going to go back into my 217 and blend, blend, blend. And now you can start to see that there's a lighter color over here, but then there's this darker color. And that's going to start carving out this crease. You cannot just jump into the black. It doesn't work that way. And if you get used to just jumping into dark colors, you'll find that it's harder to have definite shapes. It just becomes like all one blended eye, and it makes you get into bad habits. Later it's harder to learn other techniques. Make sure this corner is nicely blended, which is something a lot of people forget. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a pigment. The one I'm going to be using is this one, and it's called Aztec Gold. I actually bought these a long time ago, years ago, when I barely first started getting into makeup, and I got these at Michael's. So they come in a set of 12, and they just say that they're pigments, and I've worn them for years. I've never been allergic to them, or I've never had any reactions to them. So, and they're really affordable. They're like $24.99 for 12. So I'm going to wet my brush with Fix Plus, and you can use water to do so as well. Take a little bit of that gold pigment on your cap and take some on your brush like this, and then work it on the back of your hand into like a pasty consistency. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start taking this all over the inner part of our lid. And I'm using a Stila concealer brush. And I'm staying within our cut crease. You want to stay inside so that we still have that nicely defined shape. I'm taking this almost to the outer corner, but not quite. About 3/4 of the way. Any color into this inner corner, you don't want it to get on your nose or to come down too far. And I'm going over the top because I want it to be nice and wet, because next I'm going to go into a glitter, and this is a glitter by MAC. It's just a gold glitter, and the name of this is Reflex Bronze. And this is a really fine glitter, but you can use other glitters from like beauty supply stores. Just make sure that it's really fine. So while I wait for that to dry, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows. Now what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start working on the black. And what I did was I took a flat shader brush, and this is the one I took. It's just one by Revlon. And I took my gel liner. So I took my black chalk gel liner, took some on my brush, and I made a line like that. Then I filled it, tapped it onto the outer corner. And I worked it up a little bit. So once I have my gel liner in that shape, I'm going to take this glitter by, it's from Michaels and it's from their Recollections line. And it's just a black glitter. It looks like that. It just sparkles. I'm going to take this over the gel liner. And since the gel liner is a little wet, it should stick. So that way we have black glitter and it matches the rest of the texture of the lid. And I cleaned the edges with a pencil brush. And next we're going to go into a black shadow, and just use any black shadow. And I'm going to take some and go over the same area where I just applied the Handwritten color. So this will ultimately give you that really nice cut crease. And this color is going to be so much easier to blend because we have all of those other colors that we applied before. So now that black isn't that harsh or hard to blend. So now I'm going to go back to my 217 and just lightly go around the edges. You don't want the shadow to move. You just want it to be very soft. We don't want to move it out any further. We just want it to blend with everything else. And I'm going to do that once more, and I think we should be good. Okay, so now that I have that like that, I'm going to go ahead and do my liner. And I'm really blind, like super blind. So I have to go up really close to my mirror to do my liner. So I'm going to do that and be right back. So in the outer corner, I'm also going to follow that shape. On the bottom, all I did was I took a little bit of gel liner with the same Revlon brush. And I'm just going to smudge gel liner on the outer corner. And then I'm going to take my lashes. The ones I'm going to be using are the 747M by Red Cherry. They look like this. And I'm first going to place one, and then I'm going to place another one right on top. So I'm going to use 2 pairs of lashes. And then with the other end of my tweezers, these are ones from Sally's. I think they only bring these out during Christmas. So now that the glue is kind of tacky, I'm gonna take them under my natural lashes and place the center in place like that. And then I'm gonna grab my corner, stick that in place, and with the other end of my tweezers, I'm gonna make sure they're in place. And while I wait for that to dry, I already have my other strip of lashes with glue, so it should be tacky right by now. So I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna apply them in the outer corner. And push them down as close as possible. So I'm going to wait for that to dry, and while I wait for that to dry, as always, I'm going to go on to concealer. And I'm going to be using one by Makeup Forever. And wherever I see glitter, I'm just flicking it away. Next, I'm going to be applying a loose powder to set my concealer in place. And this is so that our concealer doesn't crease, and if you're wearing black liner, if you set your concealer, that'll prevent your black liner from running as well. And on the cheeks, the only thing I have is bronzer. So nothing else, just bronzer. But this is the finished look. I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you guys next time.